Today on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll preview the Tigers' rematch with the Dragons of Drexel. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Basketball Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Hello and welcome to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. The Tigers are headed to the city of brotherly love for game number 2 against the Dragons of Drexel. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, you just played Drexel a week ago Thursday, and here you are 10 days later taking them on again. You had a wild overtime 104-103 thriller. This time, though, it's going to be played at the DAC. And Drexel has an advantage because when teams walk into that building, they look around and they're like, really? And it can get loud in there.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Spiker's doing a really good job at Drexel. It's going to be a tough game going up to the DAC. We've had some wars there over the years, and we're going to have to play better than we did here. You know, Rodney Williams is playing like a first-team all-conference guy. Posts it, rebounds it, defends it, shoots it. You know, Kirkley and Johnson in the backcourt are both, all rookie team guys to me. Lee's having a dynamic year, and the other kid, Johnson, really shoots it. And they got other guys that Austin Williams, Mojica, veteran, proven players, Ba, Miles. So they're big. They're really big and physical, and it's one of those games with a quick turnaround. We have to play well on the road.
You look at Rodney Williams, and he's always looked good. Sometimes his numbers haven't been great, but this year he's really put it together. What's been the difference for him?
I really like. He's in tremendous physical shape. Looks like he can run all day, and then they've really improved his ability to face the basket and shoot the ball. His jump shot is impressive. You know, when he does all the other things. But I think his motor is, he's got as good a motor as there is in college basketball. I think that's what separates him.
He also 27 and 16 against the Tigers in the first matchup. And then there's Kirk Lee, who probably has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he's playing against his father's old school. And you held him to 7 points late in the ball game, but then he exploded during the end of the game and double overtime. What was the difference for him in the last, say, 15 minutes in the first 30? Well,
he's really, really fast and good with the ball. So, he puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And you're not going to take the ball from him. You know, you got to try to make him take tough shots, tough contested shots. But I thought, the last 15 minutes of that game, the last 5 minutes of regulation, the overtime, he took the game over. So we've got to do a better job keeping the ball in front, not fouling, better ball screen defense because he's playing with a lot of confidence and a lot of freedom on offense. He's taking advantage of that.
For your team to win that game the way they did, what does that give them going into the rematch?
Well, I don't know. You know, it's a couple weeks later, so our guys clearly remember it. You know, we've showed film, and we'll show it again about some errors we made that we've got to clean up. But it still comes down to execution. You know, we've got to, on the road, offensively, we've got to take care of the ball and get the ball into the red zone and get fouled and get on the glass, whether they play man or zone. We're expecting both. And then we got to do what we do defensively. We've got to get back and take away the three-point shot. They present a little bit of both problems because they can shoot it, and they will shoot it a lot. But they've got big physical guys, and certainly Rodney Williams and Austin Williams are having great seasons in the post. So they've got good balance inside out, and then they're home. So it's, I always say road wins, if you can get them, are like gold in this league. And then Saturday will be no different. It'll be a Super Bowl game and challenge for us up there, and we've got to be clicking on all cylinders.
I know that after the game, you obviously were very, very pleased with the victory, but at the same time you said, we did not play our smartest, best game of the year. Aren't those the kind of games that coaches love, the ones where you can go back and say, okay, you didn't do X, Y, and Z right, but you won the game, so you're happy about that part, but you're also happy that you can use it as a teaching lesson in certain areas, even though you won the ball game.
Well, especially conference play, you'd rather hopefully learn a lesson from a win than a loss. There's no question about it. Guys know we've got to play a little bit better than we did, and they're aware of that. We've got a smart group and a committed group, so hopefully we've learned from that. 'Cause this is also a time of year, your last 3 weeks of regular season, that you've got to eliminate some errors so that you have enough faith and confidence in each other and in the system that it's winning time versus like, oh boy, what's going to happen next?
Now, we have an interesting dichotomy coming up in this Drexel game, and that is for John Davis, it's his last appearance in his hometown. For Zane Martin, it's his first appearance in his hometown as a college basketball player. So, two players are going to have different emotions going into that game.
Yeah, as a coach, we never talk about that. It's about playing the right way and focusing on execution. I'm keenly aware that sometimes guys can play better or worse if they get overly caught up and all that. I expect both those guys to lock in and handle it the right way. I think the different thing with our group this year than any other year is, especially in my mind with defensive ball security, if we've been very clear, guys, if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. That's just the way it goes. So whether you're a freshman or a senior, you got to play the right way. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's about winning.
All right. Towson will tip off against Drexel in Philadelphia at 4 o'clock. I'll have the call on TowsonTigers.com and CBS Sports Radio 1300 starting at 3:45. Coach, thanks for joining us. Before we let you go, I have to quote the great Abe Lemons. Abe once said, you can talk to presidents, you can talk to kings, you can talk to popes, but you can't talk to officials.
That's a great quote.
Next time we go to war, we ought to give everybody whistles.
I like that. Like FDR said, brother, there's many ways of moving it forward. There's only one way of standing still. Let's keep this train rolling.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Our thanks to Pat Skerry. As always, have a great weekend. And as always, go Tigers.